What up, 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 everybody in Facebook land? I'm just going to share this to my taco page. We're going to have an amazing conversation today with my man Hareem, and we're gonna talk about some really awesome stuff. So I just want to share this on Facebook to my taco page so that the taco people can get a whiff of this. Um, it's not showing up, but let's see here. Couple more seconds, then we'll get to talking. Internet's feeling mighty slow. I'm feeling mighty low. Alright. Not sure why that's not happening. Let's see what we can do here. Ah, there we go. Alright, awesome. I am sharing. I'm not sharing, but I'm sharing. If you get my gist. Alright. Are you all shared up, family? You shared? You ready to go?
Done.
You done? All right, awesome. What up, what up, what up, everybody on Facebook? What up, everybody on the Mentor in the Mirror podcast? My name is Ty. Some of y'all know me as Ty Whitty. Some of you know me as Ty from the Bush. And some of you know me as the Done Dude, because when you're done with how you've been living, you come see me and we get you done and moving into the next echelon of where you want to be. If you're not living an amazing life, we get you done with that and we move you into the spaces that you want to be done in, you want to be doing. So this is the Awesome Naked Live. We're doing this here live on Facebook and live on the Mentor in the Mirror podcast every so often, and we share some really awesome stuff. We talk about things from a real honest perspective when we get naked. And in today's world, things have been real rocky with a whole lot of different situations. We got COVID, we got race wars in the United States, we got all these things happening, and we're really looking to, on these Naked Lives, to uplift ourselves and one another. So today I have my homie Hareem here. It's H-R-E-E-M. It sounds like ice cream, but it's Hareem. And it's an amazing sound, and I'll let him tell you all about the sound behind his name. We're here to talk about frequency attunements for maximum performance. And the frequency, we're talking about the frequency of foods, supplements, water, and how these things either extend and expand or contract your body, your mind, the things around you, changes the vibrations and creates the greatest conditions for the highest capacities in everything we do. So with no further ado, that's ADO, I'm going to introduce my man Hareem to the stage. What up, Hareem?
Hi, thank you, Tom. It's awesome to be here. Thank you so much, man.
Great to have you here naked, man.
This is it.
Naked. Look, I got somebody else here who's naked. Henry's naked.
Henry is here too. Oh yeah.
Everything's hanging out. So, so we're getting naked here on Naked Live with my man Hareem. So Hareem, so tell the people about you, man. Tell people what you do. What's going on?
Right. Thank you. Well, I do frequency attunements for the world leaders, game changers, and influencers who are here to shift the paradigm on the new Earth plane. And through reading the biofield of a person's body, I'm able to tune into what the core imbalances are that are when they are realigned using supplementation, changes in foods, water, etc., are going to give them the greatest capacity, not only just on a physical performance level, but on a multidimensional level. Since we are multidimensional beings, as we well know, there are other aspects of our being that are maybe being overlooked, and this addresses each and every one of them and gives us the greatest ROI, because speaking to the intelligence of the body, we know exactly what to work on and in the order of importance. And in doing so, the results are spectacular beyond anything I've ever experienced that's out there right now.
That's awesome, man. So when you said ROI, I'm anticipating that it means return on investment.
You got it right, exactly. ROI. Yeah.
So for me, so investment for me is investment of time, investment of resources, investment of your attention, and your money, your finances, and your effort. Right, all of that is investment to me. And so you know, there's a lot around people, you know, that I've worked with and I've had conversations with in the past, that they believe and perceive that investment is only a financial, monetary situation. So I really just want to bring that in clear, because I know we've had dialogue on this for quite some time. And that ROI, that return on investment thing, is really, really important. Be that for exercise and movement, fortification of your bone structure, fortification of your relationships and your communication. All of that is what you invest in it, is what comes back to you. And so it's not like it's not a spending. Spending is not investing, right? You can spend your energy, you can spend your time, you can spend all this stuff.
Exactly.
That's the outgoing. The investment is something you invest in, and it returns to you. So there's the ebb and the flow. There's the positive output and the positive input. There's all of that stuff, and then there's the dominance submission dynamics. There's all those dynamics that are involved in investing. And so with what you do with frequency attunement, I think that has a lot to do with investing, of your not just taking of supplements and eating of food, but actually having a relationship with these. And so in that space, in that relational space, how do you see the frequency of things making a difference when it comes to ingesting, like taking in, chewing, eating, swallowing, breathing in? Where do you see the frequency as being important?
Okay, great question. When we speak about frequency, we're talking about basically the resonant vibration of our body, our mind, our soul, a multidimensional body. And as we know, with very simple explanations, like with the law of attraction, like attracts like. So if we're at a higher vibration, higher frequency, we're going to be able to bring in those greater things that we desire. Also, our manifestation capacities are greater. Our creativity, our expansion of our consciousness, which gives us the ability to make better decisions that are more in alignment for where we want to go, what we want to create in this world, what we came here to do, as well as creating greater communication in our relationships. It's just a really multidimensional, multiple level expansion and increasing capacity that goes along with increasing your frequency, increasing your vibration.
Right. So let's get a little into the frequency situation.
Okay.
So, vibes, right? People will come to me and they're like, "Oh, you got great vibes. I love the way I love the frequency that you're on." And
That's
so
what
is that what you mean as far as high vibration type of situation? Because there are certain things that vibrate. So frequency is how fast something vibrates, right?
Yeah, right. And the higher the frequency, the higher the oscillation, the higher the vibration.
Right.
Basically.
So the faster it moves. Right.
Exactly. Yes.
So the faster the vibration, the more expansive things can be. The slower and the lower the vibration is a different situation. And there are different things that vibrate at different frequencies. And the same thing with food, same thing with water, the same thing with all this stuff. Like, there's a lot to frequency. And so can you get into how frequency in your food and your supplements affects the body?
Yeah, sure. So everybody's body is different naturally, but we basically are working the same. So there are common things that are lower frequency that are affecting us in different ways and interfering with the communication of the intelligence of the body, as well as just the systems involved. And so when we're consuming foods that are a lower vibration and lower frequency, it does impact our energy levels, our sleep, our productivity, and our, I guess, greatest capacity and our highest functioning. So that's one way in general. Just energy levels, especially when we're putting a lower vibrational or a lower energy substance into a higher energy body, it's gonna slow us down. That may be a good example.
It's kind of like dragging you back. It's kind of like it kind of brings your frequency. So if you got a low frequency food and you're up here, it kind of brings you to the middle.
Absolutely.
And if you keep eating lower vibrational foods, it keeps bringing you down. I mean, that makes plenty of sense to me, because I am a huge fan of the idea of you are what you eat.
That's
as far as your physical, the physicality of your human organism, you are what you eat. We literally take the foods that we eat, and we use it for our energy complexes. We use it for rebuilding cellular tissue, for all of our organs, for our hair, nails, all of these things. And when you eat things that are of really wonky vibrational quality, it can cause us to be vibrational. Usually when I'm working with people, I tell people the first thing, if you're looking to get into a different mind state or a different space of expansion, the first thing that's got to change is how you eat and how you drink. And if you're putting any toxic substances in your body, all of that stuff has to go first, because the vibrational quality of that stuff actually brings you down into a space where you can't mentate clearly, because your body's trying to catch up. Your body's trying to get back to some semblance of normalcy. And I think this is why processed foods, things that are really, well, everything is processed. If you put an apple in a bag, it is processed, right? It's just not very processed. But if you take a bunch of food and you grind it up and you turn it into something that doesn't even resemble what it looked like before, that is highly processed. And so that changes the vibrational quality of something when it doesn't have life moving through it anymore. So it changes that. And so I think that's a huge asset, just knowing that in and of itself. And so how do you test people for their bodies, for their vibrational frequencies, and get them into alignment and that type of stuff, that attunement that you're talking about? How do you do that?
Great question. All right, so I have worked with many masters that have given me pieces of this, and some bigger pieces than others, about through which I have developed a system that really works in 3 parts to determine the resonant frequency or the frequency signature of a person's biofield, or what the energetics around their body. So the first one is a little woo for some people, but it's getting the person's permission to
get woo.
Let's do it.
Get woo.
To connect with their angels, guides, higher self, and many times ancestors will come in, and they will assist in the processing of this information. The second part is inner technology that I've developed, where I can ask a question of what's going on, and I basically see it on a virtual screen in front of me. The answer comes up on a virtual screen in front of me. And then the third part is an advanced kinesiology, or an advanced muscle testing technique that utilizes the intelligence of the subconscious mind to determine a specific numerical value for different organ and gland capacities and different systems in the body, throughout the entire body, so that I'm able to determine what is most out of balance and what the person's body is saying, not my opinion, not the science that's out there, but the intelligence of the body is saying are the most important things to work on first, so that they can get everything back into alignment. And one of the reasons that this is so effective, excuse me, is because we're dealing with the intelligence, again, of the body telling us in real time what's going on, and the intelligence of the body telling us what needs to be done first to eliminate these symptoms. And the way I look at things, when we get to the root cause, which is sometimes a little more elusive than others, but get to the root cause, that will take care of all of the symptoms that typically we are experiencing. And the way I look at it, headaches, most disease is just a symptom of underlying causes, underlying imbalances. So dealing with the underlying imbalance gets rid of all the symptoms, because the symptoms are just, you're right. So
it's signals.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Signals.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So,
go continue, please.
Yeah. So, through with this information, I'm able to, in about 15 to 18 minutes, I'm able to run through over 2,000 values, assess 2,000 values in the body, 153 systems, and I develop a blueprint and a roadmap for the person. And what we look at are where there are 2 or 3 or more, like cross references, where something comes up a number of different times that is out of balance. So the body is saying, okay, here's where we need to focus first. And so it makes it super simple. We developed that roadmap utilizing specific frequency-based formulas that I have access to bring these imbalances back into alignment. So there's some other things that go on with that, but it's really super simple when you get down to it.
Yeah, super simple for me. Not for me, bro. With I've got over 2,000 things and 183 different systems, bro. That sounds awesome, and it doesn't sound simple to me. There's nothing simple about the human organism. Like we are,
right.
extremely complex.
Mm-hmm.
So when you said that, I kind of got a chuckle because to you it's simple. And so I wanted to swing back to what you were saying about, this may sound a little woo when I'm going to your angels and your guides and I'm asking all these people. So I want to, before, there may be some skeptics on here, okay? And I want to address the skepticism, right? Because many of these people probably don't know you. And so I know you. And I know that you were in an automobile collision at 70 miles per hour with an 18-wheeler, right?
Mack truck. Yeah, exactly.
18-wheeler, head-on collision, okay? And you had an out-of-body, from what I remember, you had an out-of-body experience.
Yes.
Where you were looking down at your body being pulled out of this wreck.
Yeah.
And the things that follow that, the amount of surgeries that you had, the amount of things that you went through, the being hooked on opioids, all these things, and then going into an ibogaine space to get rid of that dependence and all of this stuff. All of these things have contributed to you being able to have this attunement. I don't know anybody who can tap in to another person's physiology the way you do. And there may be skeptics on here that are like, oh, this sounds like a bunch of woo shit. But the thing is, most of these people have heard stories of people having near-death or out-of-body experiences and coming back with some shit. And so my belief is that you came back with some shit, right? You came back with some awesome shit, right? So you've been able to apply this. And so you're talking to somebody right here, right, who was trained in medicine, right? I was trained in traditional medicine, nursing. I worked in ERs for 25 years. I know the medical system and all of that stuff. And I was trained away from woo. I was trained to be completely woo resistant, right? I was on the woo. The spectrum of woo goes from woo woo to woo resistant, right? And then you have kind of woo adjacent and leaning towards woo, and then you have the full woo, right? And then there's the Asperger's of woo, which is Cole, right? She's she's on the spectrum. She's the Asperger's of woo. But I mean, so you right now are in a very woo space, and you still rock a scientific space as well. So I think you're kind of like very woo and like off of the hard edge, so that you can still be in the scientific space. So this woo space, the angels, the guides, and all of this stuff. Can you please tell people a little bit about your story of how you got into this, this frequency attunement stuff in the first place?
Sure. So, like you said, there was a serious accident. I was declared dead at the scene. Basically, was wound up being in the hospital for 3 months. I had a certification in hypnotherapy from the time I was 17. When this accident happened, I was 28. This was like almost 28 years ago in 1993. So what I was able to do with the hypnosis training, I worked with that for about 11 years before the accident, is really dive into people's past lives, people's angelic experiences, and take them, into different spaces. That was really interesting. So I had some experience from that. So I got into the accident. I was working with energy. The doctors told me and told my family, I was in a coma, as you know, for 4 days. They said, you know what, this guy's got so many injuries, 18 herniated discs and 24 broken bones and shattered hip and jaw and all this stuff. It's probably better, and the brain injury, probably better if he doesn't wake up, because he's never going to be able to function again. He's going to be a vegetable and all this other stuff. So I did wake up, obviously, started using this energetics, very similar to the processes that Joe Dispenza uses, and tapping into just the energy systems of our body and the energy systems outside of us. And all we need to do is just connect. If somebody out there is really skeptical about this, ask your guides, your angels, to connect with you. It's very simple. They're actually waiting for most people. Most people, they have their guides are waiting for them to get in contact with them.
Over here.
Right?
These guides. Your guides, right? Over here. Keep going. Continue, man.
The Brooklyn guides, you know what I mean?
Guys from Brooklyn. What are you doing? These Brooklyn guys.
What are you doing? So, yeah. So, So, the evidence is there that I got out of the hospital in 3 months. Different things happened that brought me back down. It took me over 22 years to recover from all of these things, over 70 surgeries, in a wheelchair for 6.5 years, on all these over a dozen medications for 22 years, then diagnosed with stage 4 liver damage and given 6 to 9 months to live. I just resigned myself to the fact that what happened with Western medicine was great, that they saved my life, but it was killing me too. So I went back I kind of fell out of the woo during that time, especially being on so much medication, and just resigned myself to the fact that I need to go back to the building blocks of the universe, the building blocks of this body. As you know, Tesla talks about if you want to understand the universe, think about energy, frequency, and vibration. And that's what we're really made of. So tapping into that energy, tapping into that afterlife, that what exists beyond the 5 senses, beyond the 3 dimensions, that is, a very, very limited part of what this universe is made of, gives us the ability, all of us, every single one of us, the ability to do superhuman things, or what we think is superhuman at this moment, and it's not. So that, just tapping into that has been really, and then getting different processes, working with different masters who already had parts of this puzzle put together. I was able to put together a system utilizing this accessing this energy in order to organize the reading of the energy for a person's body and the biofield, etc. So, does that answer the question? I hope.
It wasn't a question. I mean, I was just like, can you describe how you got into this? And
Right,
that was pretty succinct to me. And I mean, I think it's pretty tremendous what you do. And I've been, we've been working together with frequency attunement for me, and I know that I have no idea what it is that you're doing when you're doing your whole the energetic testing, and how you tune into your body's musculature to find these signatures to give me suggestions on adding supplementation and actually removing certain supplements that I've been using, removing certain foods from my diet that I was eating. I get these things that come in the middle of the night as far as information is concerned. But since I've been working with you in that space, since I had the opportunity to work with you, the things that come to me in the middle of the night are so much more profound, like ridiculously profound, and like all of these things are starting to tie together. So I've never had an opportunity to speak to my spirit guides. These guys over here, my angels and all these people, I've never spoken to them. People say they speak to their guides and angels. I don't speak to them, but I do get this information, and this stuff has been like crazy. And so I also, there's a resonance to my body since I've been working with the things that you suggested. That people are drawn to me. I mean, people are already drawn to me, but it's like super magnetic how people are drawn to me in this space. So I'm just like, wow. So what do people, what can people do to tune in, to tap into their own food? Are there any tools that they can do to tap into their own food frequencies and the frequencies of the supplements and stuff that they've been using? How do they do that on their own?
Yeah, on their own, they can. There's a couple of different muscle tests. Sometimes a ring and ring test. And this will give you a general idea if something's good for you. And you can ask a different question about that. Is this good for me? Is this not good for me? And some people know about this test. So it's basically putting the index finger and the thumb together on both hands, putting them in, and strong. So if this stays strong and doesn't pull apart, that's a yes. You could program it that way, or a no. So if I say, is my name Kareem, or actually is my name Ron? It's a positive. It's a strong, right? So if I say is my name John, it's coming right apart. The muscles are weak. So that's just a basic test. This can be looked up online. This is called a ring and ring test for muscle testing. So that's something that can give a slight indication. And there are a lot of things out there that can be deceiving. Labels are very deceiving. So it is good to have something to check in with like that. When I work with people, I give them lists of different things that are common things that might be a little deceiving, a little deceptive, that can be, slow down progress toward your ultimate goals. So I could even provide that for people that sign up. if they want to go to my site and sign up, I'll be providing some information if that's something that people
That's
are
awesome.
looking for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll talk more about that
yeah,
about find you towards the end
yeah.
of the podcast. So if I was to go into the supermarket and I was in the produce aisle
Uh
and
huh.
I was to do the ring thing, and I'd be like, these apples are great, all right, and these oranges are shit, right? And would that work for me? Would that?
It would give you a general idea. It's just asking, is this good for me? It's a little vague, but is this good for me? Your body's going to know, to a certain degree within limits what's good for you and what's really not good. So it's a little bit vague, but it can be a really good indication when you get good at doing this.
So,
What's going?
is it better to be specific?
Yeah, it's difficult. This is just a yes and no. So you can ask yes and no questions with that. So you can say, I don't know, you could be more specific. Is this going to be helpful for me losing weight? Is this going to be helpful for certain goals, or good for reaching certain goals, and tune it up like that. That's what I would say.
Well, I think that's great. I mean, so what would be a more accurate way to test situations?
It can be complex. I'm not sure of anything that I'm aware of that can be learned quickly. So it's difficult. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I'm just like, yes.
Yeah.
Continue, please. Yes.
So, yeah.
Continue on with that, man. Uh-huh.
So it does take a lot of experience, really, to nail down and get laser focused on a specific, like what I do, a specific value in a number from 15 to 93. I'll be able to assign to a food, a supplement, even water supply and stuff like that. So it enables a person to really know how good, not just is it good, but how good or how contractive it is to their system. So
yeah, thank you for that. And the reason I got excited and I was moving around is because it takes time to learn how to do these things. Like, it takes time to learn how to do anything. Do you remember tying your shoe for the first time? It took a while before you
having a problem with that.
tie your shoe.
I'm still having a problem with that.
You can do a frequency attunement, but tying your shoes, man, that's a whole other ball. Shit over here. Yeah, that's a whole other ball game, right? So this is something that this one of the reasons why I'm like, go to Reem. If you want to get your supplement game together, go to Reem. This is his angle. This is what he does, right? And people will tell me, oh, I want to learn how to do what you do. I'm like, then you got to live my life, right? You got to live my life. You got to take your time and not rush. If you're looking to get from A to B in 2 seconds, you can get to A to B in 2 seconds with somebody who knows what they're doing, or you can learn over a long period of time.
Right.
So being able to get this type of attunement there's levels of skill, and this is when it's like people will not believe that they can jump out of an airplane until they do it the first time, and then it's like, oh shit, and then they keep doing it again and again until they can do it by themselves. And so this is why I believe it's important to have people like you in this world who do this. I don't know very many people. I don't know anybody besides you who does this. And this is why I think it's really important for me to bring you here and to show you to people, because I don't know anybody who does what you do, right? And so if other people can get exposed to what you do and see the benefit in what you do, maybe they'll be interested in learning that. Maybe they'll be interested in learning that and going through, not being in the head-on collision or anything like that, and have to learn that. You don't have to go that route. But I mean, I think this is important, and I think that these types of things that are really coming into the mainstream of the world are really important as we move from these old systems and these old ways of performing, these old ways of connecting with our food, connecting with each other, connecting with this, the systems themselves. As all this stuff starts to fall apart, we've got to build new ways of doing things.
Oh yeah.
And I think that this is an amazing new way. Well, not new. This is ages old. But it hasn't been in the awareness of most people. And I think that as we start to expand beyond the traditional methods of thinking, believing, being, doing, right? When we move beyond those, thinking, being, doing, and actualizing this new space of performance, we can move into a whole other echelon of existence. And I think what you offer, these frequency attunements and what you offer are the key to it. So would you be able to share a little bit about the frequency-based optimization of the supplements that you work with in particular, and the ones that you recommend for people? How does that work?
Okay. These supplements have been formulated using frequency, vibration, resonance, and harmonics. They are just natural parts of plants that are not unprocessed, and they were combined in a way that is portioned and balanced, so that the intelligence, literally the intelligence and consciousness of the plant, synergizes and and has an intelligence that interacts and supports the intelligence, the subconscious intelligence of the human body. So I have access to over 40 formulas, and through the testing that I do, the resonant frequency testing, and the reading of the person's biofield, their body is able to tell me which of those formulas is going to work best to optimize and rebalance and realign different imbalances, and also to optimize all systems. So these formulas actually have an intelligence like plant medicine has an intelligence, on a very gently, but it does work with the intelligence of the body.
Plant medicine like psychedelics.
Exactly. But not psychedelic, but a plant-like intelligence that supports the body in rebalancing and optimizing systems. So all plants, there are many ancient traditions and that speak about the intelligence of plants. And so I know a lot of us are familiar with the intelligence of plant medicines. Obviously, this is not a psychedelic. This is something completely different. And yet it does have an intelligence and a consciousness.
Yeah, I mean, for me, all plants are medicine. All things are medicine. I believe that the things that I eat are the medicine for my body.
Yeah.
That help me for me, healing is not a destination; it's an ongoing situation. Mm-hmm. So we have ease over here, and we have dis-ease over here, right? And so the continuum between ease and dis-ease is health. This is my vantage point.
Right.
We ride along this continuum from one end to the other, and so the things that I eat help me to be in the ease space. Right? They fortify me in being in ease. When I'm out of ease, I eat things and it helps me to be more towards the ease space. I have more energy, I have more resources to heal, I have all of these things. And so all plants are medicine for something, and and poison for other things. And so human beings have a particular frequency base that dogs don't have. And dogs have a particular frequency base that horses don't have. And dogs have all of these things. And so there are these particular plants that you're navigating and that you're dealing with and that you've brought together have these resonant frequencies that kind of align with the human organism.
Absolutely.
Right? And particular combinations of those supplements help the body to resonate into spaces that kind of align with what's going on. And so a lot of the work that I do has to do with riding the chakra systems.
Mm-hmm.
Each of the chakras, the 7 chakras, vibrate in different frequency levels.
Definitely.
So does any of this attunement have to do with the supplements that your body tells you through your testing situation? Does it have to do with the alignment in the systems and the chakras?
It can, definitely. And here's where, again, the intelligence of the body comes in, and the multidimensional nature of our body. If we think about taking a survey of all the energy in our body, we know about our aura because it can be measured, and we see the different colors and etc. So we know that is energy. That's very light, and it's moving very quickly. The slowest moving energy in our body is the physicality, are the different systems that may be out of balance. So to support these chakras, which are moving much more quickly and higher energy, us speaking to the body about what needs to be rebalanced, what is moving the slowest, what's the heaviest, so to speak, energetically, that needs to be, whose vibration needs to be raised. And through that, I'm able to utilize those formulas to bring up that vibration, and that then supports this chakra system, which helps people raise consciousness even more than they've been aware of possible.
I mean, I think this is fascinating. Where did you learn about all of these supplements and stuff?
Okay, so my journey of restoring my health took me to South America, to Vienna, Austria, all over the US, and then to Canada. And I worked with a mentor there who had traveled the world himself after having 4 heart attacks by the time he was 25, literally told that he would never, never make it. Wound up becoming what we call MMA right now, a champion for 11 years in Canada. That was a long time ago. And so he developed the system. He had an intuition, a God-given gift of being able to see these energies, of testing these energies, and it came up with this system of combining these natural plants, nothing laboratory processed or anything, just parts of plants, in a way that actually created this intelligence. So I studied with him. He actually saved my life a few times because I was at the point where even the alternative doctors, functional medicine, holistic doctors, and everything were getting me some results. There was still a very limited amount of information about how the rest of our body works in an energetic sense, and the meridians and all the other energetic pieces that really nobody could answer. Nobody could answer the different questions of what was going on with me until I met this gentleman. And he saved my life. He taught me how to read this field, and I've taken it several levels from there. But he was the one that came up with this most brilliant system of combining these herbs in a way that is so supportive of the body that it just ignites the intelligence of the body, not just to heal, but to upgrade and optimize in a way that I have never seen anything in my life be as effective as this. And that's how I got into it. I saw people who were, while I was working in the clinic with him, who were terminal X, Y, and Z, and being optimized, being taken care of in a very short amount of time when other systems said there was no hope. So I was like, there is really something. Not only was it saving my life, but there was really something to this. And that's how what really drew me to it, because it was so unique and so effective and powerful that I just had to bring myself up to speed with this and utilize it in my own life. And now I bring it to other people to optimize their life. So it's been really profound and really rewarding and satisfying.
Awesome. I think it's tremendously noble, man. to be able to get the human organ, and my belief with the work that you do, and this in 275 will get you on the subway in New York. Maybe is it $3 now? I don't know. I think it's 275. Anyway, the ability for the human organism to heal itself, right? To move from the disease to the E space is inherent. When the energetic systems are flowing in the body, and we are able to get into a space where we can rest and reacclimate and move all of the things out that don't need to be there, we can shift this on our own. And so, the support that these supplements are rendering, it's not like, hey, this is going to fix this and this is going to fix that. This is going to support you in a way that you are optimized, right? You are in a space to be optimal, right? It's not optimizing you. Just let me know if I'm off, right?
Oh yeah, no, this is true.
Are not optimizing you. They're providing you with an environment that you can be optimized in. When you look at traditional medicine, right? When you look at medication and stuff that they give you in the hospital, it's not fixing anything. It's giving you space to be able to kind of to equalize. Now I can't even say normalize or balance. It gives you a space to kind of to dull the symptoms down and give you space. So like if you break your arm, right, and they put a splint or a cast on your arm, the splint and the cast is not fixing your arm. It's giving you the space to not have stress on that area so that your body can do what it needs to do to heal the broken bone.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right? So
exactly.
These supplements are actually putting you into a place, or putting the people into a place where you can actually remedy the things that need to be remedied and heal and move into a space of equilibrium, right? Of balance, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I think that's an awesome space, man. So what else could you share with the folks about the frequency of their foods, man? Like we talked about a bunch of stuff. And we talked about how you can test and all that other stuff. What about the frequencies of foods and water, and how that can affect people in a really jacked up way, in a negative space? How does
Yeah.
Yeah, speak to that for a second. That would be
Great
awesome.
question. Water is, I think, so much more key than we're really giving credit to. Most of the water, I would say, I'm not sure if there's any tap water that is suitable to drink in the Western world at this point, at least in this country, that I am aware of. There might be 90% of it, let's say, needs to be filtered or treated in some one way or another. So that's something. If people are drinking tap water, the contamination in the water, fluoridation, and other things, which is another story altogether, is slowing down. Not only is it changing your frequency and vibration, but it's slowing down the body's ability to cleanse and to the cleanse and repair cycles and cell regeneration and repair as well. So having really clean water and really high vibration water, if when available and when possible, and making the right choices around that is so critically important. We're not just 70% water, we're by volume, we're more than 90% water. That's what some of the understanding that I have of it. So it's 70% water by weight, but even more of our volume is water. So it's one of the most important things that we can do to pay attention to.
And I appreciate you saying this, man. And see, this is you're not selling this. You can't sell people water, right? You're not a water rep. And
No.
so this is what we are. Most of what we are is water. And water has a shape, right? The molecules of water take a particular shape, and that shape has something to do with the vibrational quality of the water and how it resonates, how the water molecules collide, and how they coincide with one another. And so, what are there some things that people can do to get their water to shift in vibration, even though, even if they don't have a Brita filter, which is practically useless in the first place. Hey, listen, man, I call a spade, man.
Yeah.
Even if they can't do reverse osmosis or have a Berkey or some serious, filtration system, what can people do to get their water to resonate in a different space?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm not aware of anything that is super simple to do that if the contamination is still in the water. Some people, some people who don't have access to the cleanest water that they can get. My findings and frequency wise, systems, this entire physical system works better utilizing maybe a half a teaspoon of pure sea salt first thing in the morning on an empty stomach with in a few ounces of water. That helps to bind to toxins, raise the vibration, increase the enzymatic profile of digestive system, and increase the vibration and frequency of the body and the electrical potential so that the organs and glands can communicate with each other efficiently and effectively. And that helps to process the toxins. So,
Yeah, that's awesome. So if a person came to you and they're like, well, I got high blood pressure, my doctor says I shouldn't have salt, what do you tell them?
Sodium chloride, maybe. I mean, this is a whole discussion. Sodium
chloride happen. Let's go. Yeah, let's make it happen.
So sodium chloride is not, maybe in excess is not good for us, but sea salt with the full profile of minerals in it is one of the most vital nutrients we can take. Wow. So we need salt. Most of the people that I work with in the very beginning, their salt levels, the real salt, like sea salt, pure sea salt, are very low. And it's a vital nutrient. The body cannot work properly in so many different levels without that.
I agree. Yeah. And this is the thing, man. Sea salt is not the same as processed white salt.
Right. Which is kiln dried and all this other stuff. It's not natural anymore.
It's not. It's ultra processed.
Yeah.
And this is where it becomes dysfunctional. And this is where we start to have the wonkiness because we've removed the nature from it and we've turned it into something else. And I get that. I mean, it still comes from nature. Everything comes from nature, right? These computers that we're on come from nature at a point. And I can't eat this computer. Right? I mean, I could, but I don't think it would be functional for me. I think it would probably jack me up pretty bad. And so when we take nature and we mash it up into something that doesn't resemble nature anymore, and we ingest it, it can become problematic. And this can go for the processed foods that we eat. This can go for medications that we take. If we're taking them for long periods of time, these things become toxic in the organism. We're not used to these things. We're not designed to process this stuff. It's like me being designed to eat a pencil. I'm not designed to eat that, right? It's just not functional. And so when we get into the space where our water is ultra processed and pasteurized and all kinds of other stuff is added, fluoride is added to our water and all of this stuff, it becomes problematic for the organism over a long extended period of time from a vibration, and not just from a toxin space, but from a vibrational space. And what is a toxin? A toxin is something that is detrimental to the organism. And when the water that we're drinking is a toxin, and that's what we're drinking every day. We're drinking it in coffee, and we're drinking it in soft drinks and sodas. We're drinking it in all of these different things, and it's also in the plants that we are ingesting. And so if we're spraying water that's fluoridated and processed and all of this stuff and toxins in it, the plants are ingesting that and absorbing that, and then we're taking that in as we eat. So these are all really, really important things to consider when it comes to frequency attunement, because I think it's an important space for people to align with and lean into, man. Thank you, man, for sharing all of this wealth of knowledge and information that you have, man. So how can people get in touch with you?
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, go for it.
I have a site called ascensionkeys.com. It's not easy to spell. I should have thought of that a long time ago.
So let's spell it.
ASCENSION keys, KEYS.com. And there's a sign up there. I'll be sending out information for this and other reports, etc. As people ask more questions about and get more specific about things that they'd like to know more about that might not be in the general media or the main search engine, which I highly recommend people do not use. They use another search engine for their health information. I personally don't trust a company that purposefully censors truth with my health information.
So who would you recommend?
DuckDuckGo right now. For now, I mean, if you want to see the difference and do the same search on the main engine and then do a search on DuckDuckGo and look at the difference in the results, sometimes it's phenomenal. Sometimes there are things completely missing on one that are not on the other.
Let's put names out here, man.
No, huh?
Let's put names on the main search engines. Let's go. Let's put names.
Well, we know Google. We know it's Google.
Maybe Facebook will block it. I don't know.
Probably, yeah. The algorithm's already working.
Yeah, let's put names on it right now since we're live.
Yeah, right? Definitely Google. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's on my podcast, so let's go. So,
yeah, definitely, brother. There's another one I've heard of, Brave browser. I have not used it myself yet. Brave, BRAVE. I'm not totally familiar with it, but I heard that's becoming a little more popular, so that can be utilized as well. So I can be reached there on that website. There's a sign up. And also there's, if there are people who are ready to make a move and ready to get engaged and get a little bit more information on a frequency attunement and how it can work for them in their specific situation, I offer a free discovery call. That's also on the site, and they can sign up for that, fill out a quick form, and choose a time, and we'll have one-on-one Zoom.
I think that's awesome, man. I think if you have an opportunity, and this is sparking interest in you, for my people on Facebook Live and my people on the Mentor in the Mirror podcast, if this is sparking some interest in you, go to Ascension Keys. It's ASCENSIONKEYS.com. We'll have it in the show notes as well. Go there. And sign up for a discovery call with Reem. I mean, this dude is a wealth of knowledge and information. And what could it hurt? You come into it you invest in yourself, you invest your time, you invest your energy, you invest your curiosity, and you invest your courage into moving into a space that you may not have been in before. And you get into a relationship with this person that maybe enormously expansive like it has been for me. I've had an amazing expansion with you. I'm so grateful for the work that we've done together. I'm grateful for your belief in me, and I'm grateful that I have this belief in you. I'm grateful to have seen all of the people that you've worked with expand in some amazing ways. Like your fans are die hard. Like I mean, and live hard. Like they like they're all in, and they're like, oh my gosh, Reem, are you kidding me? Let's go. This is a person that I highly recommend leaning into. Cream is an amazing human being. He's caring, he's gentle, he's loving, and he's very, very knowledgeable and very experienced. The wisdom in his body is unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. This man has been, like I said, through all sorts of trauma, and that automobile crash was one of many traumatic circumstances that this man has lived through. And to be able to be standing here talking, sitting here, whatever you're doing over there, naked, right?
Well,
Talking, walking, eating, drinking, pissing, shitting, and other things, right? Like your body is doing all of this. Okay, you dance. Like you're mind blowing. Every time I look at you and speak to you, I am in utter awe. I'm so grateful that you took some time to share yourself with me and with the audience here on Facebook and on the Mentor in the Mirror podcast. I'm so honored to be with you. And I just want to give a shout of thanks to all the people that joined us today on Facebook Live: Clayton, Elaine, Meryl, Sarah, Oliver, but my man Buddy. There's a bunch of people here. Thank you all so much for joining us. So, Cream, do you have any closing things that you'd like to share with the folks, man?
That's a great question. Let's see. I just believe that we all have greater powers, much greater powers, superpowers that are just not tapped into yet. And a lot of the decisions that we've been conditioned into, and I'm talking about diet, water, things that change our do not optimize our frequency, are so much a part of the fabric of society and what is quote unquote normal. Doesn't mean it's functional. And there's a few different things that we can do eventually to shift that. And I just want to make sure that the things that people know, that the things that I went through, that recovering from this accident, things like that, everybody has the power to do that. This is not miraculous by any means, and we all have the power to tap into our fullest potential very, very easily, very simply. And we just, whether it's me or someone else, we just need a guide to do that. And I'm here to be of service, and I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you. This is an honor to be speaking with you and spending time with you and your amazing, incredible audience. I'm so grateful to be here and to be of service.
Thank you, man. It's so wonderful to hear that, and that's something that I just also want to remind people of. Having a guide does not mean you're weak. It doesn't mean you don't know things.
Oh yeah.
You have a guide. If I walk into a neighborhood and I don't know how to get around, I'm going to ask somebody for some instructions. I'm going to ask them if they want to drive, if they want to take me around the neighborhood, show me around until I get my bearings. It's important to have guides, and we've been taught in this world. And I'm going to speak for myself, and I'm going to speak for myself in contrast to what I see. A lot of men, in particular, have been taught to be completely independent and not ask for guidance and help. And I'm going to be my own guru. I'm going to be my own shaman. I'm going to be my own leader, my own teacher, and not listen to the other people around. Please take your time and listen. Have a guide. Have somebody to kind of hold your hand until you can take the, or hold the bike until you can take the training wheels off. Let's do this together. The information is out here. The information is also in here. It is in you. When you look in that mirror and you ask yourself, what is going on with me? Do I need help? Can I use a guide? They are all here. We are all here for each other. Be that mentor in the mirror. My name is Ty Whitty, Ty from the Bush, the Done Dude. I'm here with my man Hareem. I thank you all so much for staying with us for this amazing broadcast on Facebook Live and on the Mentor in the Mirror podcast. I love you with my heart and soul in ways that words could never ever explain. Thank you so much. Be easy. Be free. Peace out.